I walked into my house and found my daughter sitting with a stranger who claimed to be her real father. It was a normal Wednesday afternoon. I came home from work a little early because I wasn't feeling well, and when I opened the door, the first thing I noticed was the quiet. My daughter is 6, and usually she's running to me yelling, "Mommy," or drawing something on the floor, or asking for snacks. But that day there was silence. I called out her name and she responded from the living room with a voice that sounded strange, not scared, just serious. I walked in and she was sitting on the couch with a man I had never seen in my life. He was calm. He didn't look dangerous, but he also didn't stand up when I entered. He just looked at me and said, "We need to talk." I immediately asked who he was, and before he could answer, my daughter said, "Mommy, this is my real dad." I froze. I told her to go to her room, and she did without a word, which is not like her at all. I turned back to the man and asked what kind of sick joke this was, and he just looked me straight in the eyes and said, "I'm not here to cause trouble. I just want to know her." He explained that 6 years ago, he was dating a woman who got pregnant and then ghosted him completely. He said he tried to find her, tried everything, even went to the police, and that she had moved, changed her name, and disappeared. I told him I had no idea what he was talking about, and he pulled out an old photo of himself and the woman, and my face went pale because that woman was me, but back then I looked different. I was heavier, wore glasses, had a different hair color, and name. I changed everything after I left a toxic relationship and tried to start over. I didn't think he'd ever find me or that he even cared. Back then, he never answered my calls, never came to the hospital, never signed the birth certificate. I moved because I was broken, because I was scared, because I wanted to give my daughter peace. But now here he was in my living room saying he had every right to see her and that he was ready to fight for her legally. I told him to get out, that this was not the place, and that if he wanted to go through court, then that was his choice. But what gave him the right to just show up and talk to her before me? And he said, "I only spoke to her because your neighbor saw me parked outside and told me you were probably at work, and your daughter was home with your sister, and she let me in." I was shaking. I felt like my life was being ripped apart. I had spent years building safety for my child, and now this man wanted to break it all open. I don't know what hurts more, the fact that he found us, or the fact that my daughter called him her real dad. After 10 minutes, I sat down that night and asked her what he told her, and she said he told her stories about when she was a baby and how he looked for her every birthday and how he always kept her baby picture in his wallet, and I didn't even know he had one. I cried that night in the kitchen while she slept. I don't know what the right thing is. Should I let him in? Should I take it to court? Should I run again? I thought I was doing the right thing by starting over, but maybe I stole something from both of them. I never wanted to keep her from love. I just wanted to keep her from pain. Now I feel like I've delivered both at once, and no matter what I choose, somebody is going to lose.